Happy Friday. Yep, it's that time of your favorite time of the week again. That time of the week, questions with the coach. I'm the coach. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday to you. I just want to knock out a couple questions before you sail off into the weekend. Not much going on with me. I got about 15 or so minutes. We'll see how this goes. But you're here to ask me anything. I'm here to answer it to the best of my ability. I got some topics that I came up with. So just in case this conversation comes to a stall, which thus far it's done every single time so far, we could at least talk about something. But before we get to any of the topics, what's been going on in the world of pots, filmed my first ever live cooking show, Cooking with the Coach, this past Wednesday. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it about a 3, maybe 2.5 at best. It was an absolute disaster. The meal tasted great, but absolutely nothing worked the way it should have in terms of, at one point, the stove didn't even turn on. You can't really tell in the film or the video if you go back and watch because I played it off like the professional that I am. But everything just kind of went into disaster. The cameras weren't working properly. I did not put enough orange juice in my recipe, therefore the cornstarch made it like clump up. I just figured it said half a cup of orange juice, and I was like, well, if I just squeeze half an orange, that should be about right? And it wasn't even close. So that didn't turn out correct. But the meal itself was great. I think we had a grand total of about 5 to 10 people actually kind of pass through at some point, which is pretty on par for anything that I do in terms of live Facebook. Oh, we have our first listener, Kate Cohen. First time listener? You have any questions, Kate? It's not like we don't talk enough. I feel like we should also explore what we can do on Facebook Live as well, right? You know, you got to hit it from all angles in terms of getting to know somebody. So I'm here to answer your questions, fitness related, obviously. What else is going on in the world of pots? Just put out my first ebook ever. And I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out. So there's 5 recipes for juicing, 5 recipes for smoothies, grand total of 10 recipes. It's a 16-page book. I took all the photos myself, except for one picture. Good luck finding out which one that is. And designed it myself, put it together. And you, as a subscriber to Coach Potts' newsletter, should already have a copy. And if you are not a subscriber yet, go to CoachPotts.com, drop your email. I will send you the link. It's automatic, so it should just show up. If it doesn't, let me know, and you will get my first ever ebook, free of charge. Normally it's somewhere between a $30 and $70 value, but being a subscriber to my newsletter, I'm going to go ahead and let you have this for free for a short period of time. So get it while the getting's good. Kate, you got many questions. Go ahead and ask me one. Kate is going to go ahead and ask our first question. I appreciate you spoon feeding this Questions with the Coach episode thus far, because so far we've got one person watching, and it's you. Does hydration help you with morning wake-ups? As in, over time, could I quit coffee and just drink water? It's a great question. There's some misnomers when it comes to coffee. I love coffee. Personally, I like the psychological boost I get. If I don't have my coffee, I feel relatively irritable. It is something I look forward to doing every morning. And as soon as I have my coffee in hand, I'm a pretty happy camper. That is the classic definition of addiction. So I would go so far as to say that I'm addicted to caffeine. The thing about coffee is it does have a lot of benefits that aren't just psychological. I can't get into too much about what it does for the body per se because it's very arguable, and I really don't know. Because it's like another one of those things that if you like red wine, you'll find people that say you should have a glass a day. You'll find alcoholics that say you should never touch the stuff. Coffee is another one of those, there's definitely 2 different camps to that. I would say anything in excess is not good for you. I definitely drink this stuff in excess. I'm working on it. Get off my back, will ya? But coffee is a diuretic. The misnomer is that coffee dehydrates you. It does not technically dehydrate you. What it does is it makes you go to the bathroom more. So I guess in theory, by that sense, it'll dehydrate you just because you are expelling all of those fluids, which should be replaced with nothing more than good old H2O. And by H2O, it doesn't necessarily have to be the cleanest water from a spring valley up in the Swiss Alps. I mean, any kind of water that isn't contaminated would be good for you. So at some point in the game, I think Coca-Cola, Pepsi, one of those companies got in on the whole smart water deal, and they're trying to market better water for you. Water is water, and your body needs it. And your body doesn't need anything else. In fact, if you only drink water for the rest of your life, you'd still have a pretty darn good life. Everything else that's added to water either makes it taste better or is just there to make you addicted. So anytime you put sugar in the water, it tastes great and it gives you that psychological boost, much like coffee does, and you're gonna want it more. But the things that you can put into water that aren't necessarily addictive, it just makes it taste better. Any of those powder stuff you want to stay away from. But water infused with fruit will definitely give it a little bit of a better taste, but it's not going to taste like Gatorade. It's not going to taste like anything like a Snapple, like something you're getting in a prepackaged bottle. That stuff has the things in it that makes you get that psychological boost because it tastes so good, because it's so processed that the refined sugar or whatever it is they do to make it taste good makes your mind go, ooh, Snapple, and you want more of it. And that's all they're there is to sell product. So to answer your question, I'll answer your question in a second, Tim. Can you quit coffee and just drink water? I would say there would be about a good 3-day to 21-day hump that you would have to get over in terms of quitting coffee. You're going to feel tired, you're going to feel irritable, you're going to have headaches because your body's withdrawing from the caffeine. But over time, if you replace that with water and then some, you will eventually break the coffee cycle, only drink water, and your body will thank you for it. But you won't get that psychological boost that coffee provides for you, the one I'm about to have right now. Coffee, I love it. Not only do they drink Snapple, Kate, I worked at a gym where they gave the cooler to you, but part of the deal of giving the cooler to you was that you had to sell All Sport. Now, I don't know if you knew if you had All Sport, but it was the most disgusting drink that ever came on the face of the planet. It was either Pepsi or Coke's answer to Gatorade, and it was absolutely miserable. And to find the stuff is hard to do, but to drink the stuff is a noble feat. It's the most disgusting thing you could ever have on the planet. So not only do they still have Snapple, apparently they still have All Sport. Tim, Brian, this question is for you. Can I get you a job at Dave & Buster's? Currently, no. The global pandemic's shutting down all restaurants, but I do happen to know some people, and I'm sure those people are still with the D&B family because they more or less sold their soul to that company. I was a cog in the machine. I was obviously one of the bright spots. A lot of people refer to as Dave, Buster, and Andy's. I used to go by Jack, but let's just say Andy. But you know, after it just got to be a little bit convoluted, and you didn't want to put that third name on it, so they stuck with the D&B moniker. And can I get you a job? Absolutely. Do you hate yourself? Because that would be the only reason that one would want to join Dave & Buster's. Great place to visit, great place to go have fun with your friends and play video games and drink. Bad place to work, man. It's just, let's take the most obnoxious human beings and shove them in tight quarters with bright video games that go bing, bing, bing and light up and add alcohol to the mix. And then let's put a location right next to Cabrini Green and see if that works out. Yeah. Where do I get a job there? For 4 years of my life, selling my soul. Here's a trick to make it a good TNT. What you do is, instead of using call liquors or well liquors, we use Absolute Bacardi. Then you also use like a Grand Marnier, right? And then you do the sour and the Coke, and skip the tequila. You don't need that. And for Bacardi would be the rum. I'm missing one. Oh, Tanqueray, right? And then regardless of how you make the drink, just pour a shot of whiskey down the straw. So when people drink their TNT, which was code for Long Island, they think, oh, I got a great drink. It doesn't matter how much of the other stuff you put in there. As long as that initial swallow was of pure alcohol, they're gonna think they got a good drink. So that's the secret to making any drink good, in my opinion. I'm glad we gotten completely off topic and we're talking absolutely nothing about fitness. Hey, Scott Derringer's here. Speaking about hospitality business, Scott, you got any questions about serving drinks and getting people loaded? Because that's apparently all we're talking about right now. Scott, I'm glad you're here. Hey, this is a serious one. I do have Cooking with the Coach, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, Facebook Live. Just did it to my private VIP audience for the Coach Pots page, but I will eventually put it on my Andy Pataki page as well, and I want you guys to chime in and ask me questions about cooking, keep me entertained while I'm making dinner. Second to that, I'm also going to have another show called Roastin' with the Coach, where that's your opportunity to take shots. So Scott, it seems like you're already ahead of the game. You've been trying to roast me for a long time, and one day you'll be a funny comic who has good jokes, and I'm sure those roasts will actually be something other people will laugh at other than just yourself. So keep working it, my friend. You remember the straw technique. I know, Scott, you keep asking Jack Calhoun. Here's my comment to you. Here, unpin this. Ready? Scott, Can you define beating a dead? Yeah. Go ahead and answer that question for me, Scott, and let me know. And leave your comment below. Yeah, we got it, man. Jack Calhoun. Never gets old. Questions that I want to answer that I'm posing to myself because I don't seem to have any other questions in terms of fitness and stuff. What is better? Using... Oh, how do I get out of this? What is better? Using a treadmill or running outside? Just like anything else, if you want to apply what is called the SAID principle, S-A-I-D, the specific adaptation to imposed demands, I don't know if one is better than the other, but I can tell you that your body's going to get used to one if that's all you do, and I highly recommend switching them up often. So if during the summertime, at least having one treadmill day, and during the wintertime, at least having one outdoor run day, it's going to help. Almost all, if not every single race that you're ever going to run is going to be outdoors, especially the distance races, obviously, and stuff. But they're not going to be on a treadmill. I mean, occasionally there'll be like a fitness competition where you're trying to sprint for a quarter mile or a short distance and stuff. But even then, training on the ground is not going to help you in terms of training on a treadmill. Treadmills are like a tool that you can utilize that will continue to get your heart rate up and get you in running shape, almost as well as running outside. But the nice thing about treadmills is that you don't have to deal with the conditions. So anytime you're indoor, you're not facing a headwind, you're not facing, you name it, and you're only having to deal with the treadmill itself. Some of the bad thing is that belt kind of goes for you, right? So in terms of like actually mimicking what you're doing outside, I would imagine you could probably run better times on the treadmill just because you don't have the pounding of the ground. Usually those treadmills give a little bit. So, but over time, I've never met anyone that prefers to run primarily on the treadmill just because psychologically it takes its toll on you. Physically it will as well. There's a number of things that the treadmill, even if you have a nice TV in front of you, stuff like that, I mean, I don't think that's good for you. Like completely just running, completely zoned out and stuff, going out in nature and all that type of stuff. The psychological, physical benefits, in my opinion, outweigh the indoor. So the outdoor is preferential, but I obviously, like I said in the beginning of this, would tell somebody that they should switch it up in the summertime, at least get 1 to 2 days on the treadmill indoors, and in the wintertime, try to get at least 1 to 2 days outdoors, just so you can get some fresh air and stuff. So there is no good answer to that question. It really depends on what you do, but my answer to you is to switch it up. Don't just do one thing and forget the other one, and don't pretend like one is better than the other. What is going on? See, I left a question, Scott Derringer. Now I can't get the hell off it. This is so annoying. Once again, Scott Derringer is coming to ruin my life. Okay. Well, I can't read the other question or comments. So let's go to our next topic, which was supposed to be our first topic. Will exercise cause me to gain weight? That's a great question. In theory, no, because you're probably going to burn more calories than you consume. Let's say you have a normal diet and you start exercising, you would, in theory, burn more calories than you consume, which would inevitably lead you to losing weight. Now, is that always going to be the case? No. And there's a number of factors that go into play. Your genetic disposition, if you're technically mesomorphic, mean you are inclined to put muscle on. If you do start working out and you do start eating, consuming a lot of protein, and you're in that what we would refer to as an anabolic window, meaning muscle building phase, you could in theory put muscle on top of what you already have and gain weight. That's not the category most people fall into when they gain weight while exercising. The category they fall into is they don't have a good grasp on the amount of calories they're burning while they're working out, and they think they can eat anything afterward in addition to being more hungry. So if you're more hungry after you work out and you eat like a maniac and you're justifying it because you had a great cardio kickboxing class, well, guess what? You may have not only undid whatever the calories that you burnt there in that class, but you may be putting more calories in your body that you wouldn't normally do because you weren't hungry because you didn't take that class. So these are like special cases. There is occasionally somebody, usually females who are new to working out, that will start working out, start not realizing it, but start eating more than they normally would, start gaining weight, and then blame exercise and say, I'm never doing that again. My goal is to lose weight. Or someone like, skinny, ribsy person who's essentially ectomorphic, but they've never worked out before, and they're in that anabolic window. They start working out, they start packing on a little bit of muscle. They're like, well, I wanted to lose weight to work out and stay slim and sleek and all that type of stuff. But because they gained the muscle, they gained a little bit of weight. Either or, to answer your question, my question that I pose to you, because no one's really asking me questions, and if you can't, I can't read them anyway. Can exercise make you gain weight? Yes. It still boils down to calories burned versus calories consumed. It still boils down to, is that one of your goals? Sometimes your goal is to gain weight. And if you want to pack on muscle, hang on to that fat, and then eventually burn the fat and keep the muscle, then exercise can cause you to gain weight. If that's not your goal, then monitor what you're eating. But the rule of thumb is continue to eat. If you're eating a healthy diet and you're trying to lose weight and you're not doing it through diet alone, continue to eat the way you're eating and put some exercise on top of it. Unless you're some sort of freak, which you're not. I know everybody pretends like they fall into that category. You don't. All you have to do is add a little bit of exercise on top of that, and you're gonna lose weight. You're gonna burn more calories. That's a fact. So the people who pack on muscle don't work out in the sense that you might think they do. They're not doing, spin classes or, aerobics for 50 minutes straight. They're literally lifting weights heavy, somewhere between 8 to 12 reps, resting 2, sometimes 3 minutes in between sets, repeating, doing that 4 to 5 sets per exercise, 3 to 4 exercises per body part, 1 to 2 body parts per day, and then resting a lot and eating a lot, and they're gaining weight. So they would say, exercise causes you to gain weight. But you're also doing a special type of exercise. So does anybody else have any questions? It doesn't matter. I can't edit the post. What? No, it's not what I want. Settings? Yeah, no, interactive? I could do a poll, but I can't see the comments. This is crazy. Does anybody know how to work Facebook Live? I'm starting to get irritated here. Why am I wearing a bandana? Because I'm an angry man, and angry men wear bandanas. And when we get angry, it gets funny, so pay attention. You don't know what I'm gonna say. Boy, check in. Where are my comments at? What if I opened up another page just so I could see my comment? Has that ever been done before? Am I talking to myself? Yeah, I am. You get to a certain age, man, you just stop caring. You start talking to yourself more and more. And life is just like that, man. Do. I'm on my page now. See the thread. Where are my comments at? Oh, look, it's my voice. What if I open up another page? Okay. Enough of that, folks. I've answered both questions. Which one's better, treadmill or running outside? Depends on what your goals are. I recommend running outside over a treadmill. But you should definitely try to do either one once or twice a week, regardless of whatever it is you're trying to do. And then, will exercise make you gain weight? No, it won't make you gain weight. Those are specific, targeted goals. Just be careful what you're eating while you're exercising, because it has a tendency to make you hungrier than you normally would be, and you should not, in theory, gain weight while you're exercising. That's it for questions of the coach. If you have any questions that you want to submit and want me to answer on a later date or on a podcast, let's say, those come out weekly every Tuesday morning, please send me an email, andy@coachpots.com. You can also hit me up on Facebook, which is probably easier because we're all on Facebook right now. But this has been fun. We're up to 7, almost 6 people. Wow, watching. Hey, man, that's more than usual. Spread the word, folks. I'm not going anywhere, and I want this thing to grow. So I'm here for you. I'd say 95% of the content I'm giving out is free. I'm just trying to interact with as many people as possible. It takes a while to get to know me, but most people who know me think I'm a pretty great guy who's super knowledgeable about fitness and health, and I am here to help you, so that's my life's purpose. So take care of yourself, enjoy your weekend, and I am out of here, folks. Take care. Boom. End of live video.